We started competing in the first Open that CrossFit did. We thought it'd be a good opportunity for some of us to see where we were actually, gauge us to where we were actually with other athletes across the nation. And that was our first competition. Then we started looking at the local circuit, and from there on we started doing local competitions in the area. Currently at the age of 42, I'm actually in the Masters categories. I've competed in a few of them, placing between 3rd and 4th in a couple of the local competitions. Hoping to do real well at the new age division this year at the CrossFit Games. But I find that the CrossFit Open is an excellent way to get new members who've never competed or those who never thought they wanted to compete into a kind of a competitive atmosphere and actually allow them to see what it's like without overbearing them in front of thousands and thousands of people.
That was my first competition. I learned a lot about myself from when I started to where I am now. In the gym here, I think I do, pretty well. And then at the competition, going against the best at other gyms, just to see how far behind you really are, compared to the other top guys. So it was humbling, but I learned a lot, had a good time, and I know the next competition, I think I do much better.
I've been at CrossFit Predators for about 8 months now. Been a trainer here for about 4 months. I fell in love initially with the Predators because Coach Gary Roberts, he took his time to actually critique and correct me, and within a couple little steps, I improved my lifts by 10, 15, 20 pounds within 1 week, and he reminded me a lot of myself coming from a personal training and athletic training background where I'm kind of a stickler on form and technique. It's all about the music, baby. My first ever CrossFit WOD was 2 weeks before last year's Open, the 2012 Open, and it was nuts. I did nuts in like 30 minutes. I had never done CrossFit before. I did the Open last year, came in about 400th in the region. Had sustained a concussion on the snatch workout, which was I think the 3rd one. And yeah, for MMA I have to drop down to 155, so I'm a smaller fighter. And this year I've actually dedicated a lot more time to this year's Open, to this year's CrossFit Games. Gina is one of our competitors and one of our up-and-coming, great, amazing competitors in the female division. How are you feeling this year?
This year, I'm feeling a lot better, a lot stronger, thanks to the coaches here at CrossFit Predators.
Which coaches in particular?
Gary Roberts and Phil.
Thank you. What was your last competition?
It was January 26th of 2013.
Really? And that was the Broward Cup?
Broward Cup, Florida.
And you hit a PR in your snatch, right?
Yes, I was happy to PR at 115 for my snatch, which I was very proud of myself for that.
Which was 10 pounds more than she had ever done before, which I was super impressed because I had the pleasure of being on her team for that particular one.
So they enjoy it, they see where they're at, and what it does is it actually gives them a better outlook on how their training is going and where they want to go with their training from that point on. And usually, most times, people come to us and say, hey, I'd like to do a competition. At no time do we ever force the local competitions on anybody. We present them, but most of the time they end up coming to us and asking us, I'd like to try one, and actually request for us to look at them and see if they're really ready to do a competition. We always emphasize, don't worry about winning, go have fun, enjoy the atmosphere of a CrossFit competition because the atmosphere is extremely exhilarating, and learn what you need to work on. With that input, they come back and there's a bigger drive to get better at certain CrossFit exercises. Stuff they've never thought they would actually try before but didn't do well in a competition, they're now focusing on getting better at it. So it kind of drives people to make themselves better after the competition. So I always emphasize if you can do one at least, even in CrossFit Open, at least try one competition, and it'll rejuvenate your CrossFit enthusiasm.
How are you feeling going into the Open this year?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what they're gonna have for their workouts. Hope it's something fun and challenging, which I know it's gonna be.
And did you do the Open last year?
I did not do the Open last year. This is my first time doing the Open. I never felt quite ready. But this year, thanks to CrossFit Predators, I'm ready to do the open.